Merhaba, dear sirs, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here. I'm the only one speaking English here, but I hope that we will manage. And we have some translations in Turkish in the presentations over there, and we will do it in English here. I'm invited here to speak about how to handle fall risks in the construction business. And I know we're tight in the schedule, and I try to do my best to catch up. Yes. I have a quite short agenda. I will go through a short introduction of Safety Respect. We will look at the risks in the construction business, how to handle them, and how to achieve improvements. We will look at what we can offer in fall protection, both temporary and personal. We will look at academy, the training we can provide. We will do a small check of the developments in the market globally, not only Turkey. We will also do a summary of this. So let's continue. Safety Respect, we save lives. We do that by being an expert in the construction business for the edge protection. We both have the temporary fall protection, as you see. The temporary fall protection, we have the personal fall protection, which is the harnesses that you use for mounting the temporary systems. We also have an academy where we do the training. Normally, we work very close to our customers and help them with service and training. By being close to our customers, we really can achieve an improvement in the market. We're an internationally strong organization. We cover everything from research and development. We have our own production. We do the logistics. We do rental and sales. We have service and academy. So by being a quite small company, we handle everything that our customer need. The company itself is 13 years old. It was founded by me and an associate. We're growing rapidly international at the moment, and from 2010, Turkey has been a base for us. I will show you a little bit more about what we have done in Turkey. At the moment, we're approximately 100 persons in Turkey, so there is a good organization here. A short movie showing what we do and how we handle our projects. We help our customers with the risk assessments, and we do the edge protection analysis. When we come up with the best solution for our customer, we handle our logistics and help the customers with the right products at the right place. We give them the mounting instruction and handle the products at their construction site. What we see here now is a typical European system. We have different systems depending on where in the world we operate. Here in Turkey, we have a system designed for Turkey, and it operates very good here in Turkey. And of course, we have a large span of different products. Here we see how it's operated, very simple to use. You handle it with your gloves on. You can do it standing up. It's very versatile, and it's very simple to use. It's mounted by anyone who got the training. You can do very simple adjustments of the systems. You can lift it up to do the concrete pouring, and it's very simple to handle for anyone. Of course, we handle all the situation in the construction business at site. We can close off all the edges. We can handle the lift shafts, which you see in the picture right now. From the edge, you normally come up to a staircase. Of course, you need to handle the stairs. It's very important. It's very common that the customer normally only look at the edge. But you have a lot of edges inside the house as well, like staircases, elevator shafts, openings. What you see here is that we cover the staircase with a very flexible solution with our link bars. And now you see a complete solution with the staircase connected to the edge protection barriers. Once we have done that, we do the safety check. We have a checklist, a digital checklist, where we comply that we have set up everything. We click OK, and then we send a report to ourselves and to our customer saying that everything is checked and it operates properly. And then we have a nice yellow construction site. So that is basically what we deliver to the market. From, as I said, we've been in Turkey since 2010, and we have the production for the international market here in Turkey as well. And we believe in Turkey as a strong market, both for our production, but also for the construction industry. What we saw here before, around 2010, 2013, it was the huge construction business and no edge protection at all. We saw the potential in starting developing this, and 2013 we put up a sales company. 2014 we had some small projects. You see the yellow barriers in a small project done in Baghdad. After that, everything started going very well, and we increased the speed. Now the project looks like that. Huge projects with a lot of yellow barriers. And we're very proud of having achieved this in Turkey. Now we have, of course, a lot of competitors, but we feel that we have been driving this market and building this market in Turkey. If we go into the risk management and the risks of handling the edges, of course, everything comes from attitude and mindset. And that is from the management down to the worker. Attitude and mindset is the most critical thing to have in place in the organization. Then, of course, the competence and education. You can get that if you have the right mindset. If you have the right education, you can get the right products. So it's linked together that way. In general, globally, 1/3 of the accidents in the construction business is from falling. It's by far the biggest accident cause. Half of the deaths in the construction business comes from falling. So this is also a big effect to the workers. And this is global numbers. It's very similar everywhere in the world. If we look at the total numbers, in Sweden we have 7 deaths. 7. We are 10 million people in Sweden. We have 7 deaths from falling in construction business. USA, which is a big market for us as well, have 566. Turkey, your number is 438, 2018. And that is the official number, and of course we can discuss that. And in Europe, every day, 1 person is falling and dying. So I'm sure you understand this is a big problem, and it can be handled with the right way of work. Typical fall risks: wrong working methods. You don't use the edge protection that's required. You don't have the knowledge. You don't do the risk assessments. That's very important to do that and follow that. The responsible persons lack knowledge. And of course, stress and tight schedules on the projects is very important as well. This is quite easy to handle. If you work in the right way, avoid the risk by working on ground. That's most important. Next step is use proper edge protection. If you can't use the right edge protection, use personal fall protection. That's very simple mindset of using the systems. And of course, then you have a lot of different measures to handle the risks. We will see a video where you see some of this coming up now. And that will make it a little bit clearer. There is a speaker in this as well.
In Sweden, everyone, by law, has the right to a good working environment. The work should be organized so that it can be carried out safely. The occurrence of many accidents every year is not acceptable. How can it be that there are so many falling accidents, and that they often have such serious consequences? Yes, there are, of course, a variety of reasons, but some of the main reasons are the following. That the wrong working methods are used, for example, work at height instead of on the ground. That fall protection equipment is not being used, or that it is being used incorrectly. That those involved in the work lack the necessary knowledge and experience. Lack of risk assessments, or that the results of the risk assessments are not complied with. That drafters, supervisors, and managers lack knowledge of the rules that apply. But accidents are also caused by pressured schedules that lead to stress, and that those involved in the work begin to take shortcuts. When work is carried out at heights, there are also other risks, in addition to the falling risk. There's a risk of dropping tools or components. There are also clamping risks and risk of damaging sight and hearing. Think a little about this based on your own experience. Do you recognize yourself in any of these, or have you ever been involved in a situation which could have ended badly? What can we do to avoid accidental falls? With the right skills and training, the probability increases that you and your colleagues work safely. With the right attitude and mindset, the likelihood reduces that you and your colleagues will take unnecessary risks and shortcuts, which can lead to accidents. By using the right fall protection, you and your colleagues get a good protection and can work in a safe manner. Fall protection is equipment that is intended to prevent a fall, or if a fall occurs, safely slow down and stop the fall. A risk analysis must be carried out before commencing work where a falling risk is present. The risk analysis shall describe the hazards and explain how the risks can be avoided or reduced. It is important that the risk analysis is documented and that everyone involved in the installation has read and understood the content. In order to reduce the occurrence of accidents, it is important to work in the right order. Firstly, you and your colleagues should avoid risks by working on the ground. Secondly, if the work must be done at height, you should use collective fall protection such as edge protection, work platforms, working cages, scaffolding, and safety nets. Last alternative, when there is no possibility of using collective fall protection, you must use personal fall protection. There are also some comprehensive measures, which it is important that you and your colleagues know and follow. Close off the area underneath and around the mounting location so that unauthorized access is prevented. Use the protective equipment and work clothing provided by the employer. Always use personal fall protection when assembling and dismantling collective fall protection. Use the tools intended for the installation and secure tools using a leash. Always check products and equipment before using them. Do not use products or equipment that are damaged. This can affect safety. Follow manuals and instructions. When work is done at heights or in an environment with falling risks, there should be a rescue plan that describes how a distressed person should be taken down. The rescue plan shall be documented and known among all those involved in the assembly. If you and your colleagues are aware of the risks, use the appropriate fall protection correctly and never take unnecessary risks or shortcuts. Work can be done safely, regardless of the height at which the work is performed.
Okay, I know I'm almost up on time here, but I will try to conclude this quite quick here now. As I said, edge protection systems, that's very important to use. We have the different systems for the different solutions. And of course, we have the capacity to deliver big volumes, and we have the knowledge to go from from the CAD systems and design process to the real world. And it's very important to understand the use of it. The proper edge protection should be used, and then you handle it with the personal systems. This definitely requires training, and then you need an academy. Yeah. Academy for handling these products is very important to have this package in total. What we see globally now is laws and occupational health is developing very quick. We see big political pressure to get these accident rates down, and it's happening everywhere in the world. We in Sweden have very high penalties at the moment, and I know that's the case here in Turkey as well, for if you don't comply with the rules. Norms and productive directives are developing very quick. Actually, you here in Turkey now has come to the European norm, and you took it a little bit further. So you're the best in the world at the moment with the TSE standard. The TES European norm, that is 13374. That's you're in the top at the moment because you have taken it a little bit further, and you require third-party checking of the products. So we are very proud of being in Turkey for that reason. And we try to bring that to the other markets in the world. Canada and US is very slow. We can definitely learn them a lot. And the last thing I want to push on here is the education and training. Please let the workers and the management go to training. They need to understand the risks, and they need to understand how to handle it. This concludes my speak and the summary. Of course, all the fall accidents can be avoided if you do it the right way. Use the proper risk assessments, use the proper products, use the proper training. And the last thing I want to push on here, use an expert supplier, the last sentence. They can help you with the proper solutions for everything here. So that basically concludes my short speech here. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for having me here. And safety respect, we save lives.